Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Reen English Channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Today we're keeping things simple, natural, and very real. Our topic is one of the most common but most useful things you'll ever talk about in English, your day. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Exactly. People often underestimate how important this topic is. Talking about your day helps you practice daily routines, time expressions, feelings, and small talk, all in one.
Yes, and the best part? You can use it every day, literally. Whether it's chatting with friends, coworkers, or language partners, talking about your day is like the foundation of natural conversation.
Right. So today, Jack and I will do exactly that. We'll talk about our days, morning, afternoon, evening, the good parts, the stressful parts, the funny parts. Basically, everything that makes a normal day real.
And along the way, we'll show how to express time, habits, emotions, and even small details that make your English sound alive.
Perfect. So let's begin. Jack, how was your day?
My day started pretty early today. I woke up around 6:30 a.m., which is a bit earlier than usual for me.
Wow, that's early. What made you wake up so soon?
I'm trying to develop a morning routine. You know, that idea of starting the day intentionally instead of rushing.
Ah, I like that. So, what did you do first?
Well, the first thing I did, honestly, was reach for my phone. I know that's not ideal, but I wanted to check the weather and a few emails.
That's relatable. Most people do that. Did you have coffee?
Of course, I can't start my day without coffee. I made a fresh cup, sat by the window, and just took a few quiet minutes. No music, no noise, just silence.
That sounds peaceful. I've started doing that too, actually. I don't check my phone for the first 30 minutes anymore. I just stretch a little, drink water, and write a short journal entry.
Really? That's a great habit. What do you usually write?
Mostly how I feel in the morning, what I want to focus on, or something positive I'm grateful for.
That's powerful. I think journaling helps you set the tone for the day.
Exactly. So after that, I usually make breakfast, oatmeal or fruit. What about you?
I just had toast and eggs today. Simple. I used to skip breakfast, but I realized it affects my energy later.
Yeah, same. It's funny how little morning habits can change your whole day.
After breakfast, what's your usual routine?
Well, I take a quick shower, get dressed, and listen to a podcast while I'm getting ready.
Oh, nice. What kind of podcast?
Usually something about productivity or creativity, something light but motivating.
That's a good idea. I usually listen to soft music when I'm getting ready. It helps me wake up without feeling rushed.
That's nice. And how do you get to work?
I usually walk. It's about 20 minutes from my apartment, so it's a nice way to get some exercise and clear my mind before starting the day.
That sounds lovely. I take the train. It's only 2 stops, but it's enough time to read a few pages of a book or check messages.
I love that moment before the day really starts. It's calm, but you can feel the city waking up.
Exactly. Everyone's moving with purpose, but there's still that quiet morning rhythm.
Yeah. Do you talk to people on your commute?
Not usually. I'm more of the silent type in the morning.
Same here. I'm friendly, but before 9 a.m., I need peace and coffee.
So, what's the first thing you do when you arrive at work?
Usually, I say hi to my colleagues, check my planner, and look at my tasks for the day. I like to organize my priorities first.
That's smart. I tend to dive straight into emails, which sometimes makes me feel overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah, that happens to me too. It's so easy to lose focus if you start the day reacting instead of planning.
Exactly. These days, I try to follow a simple rule: check tasks before emails. It helps me stay proactive.
That's a good strategy. And I think communication is a big part of the workday. Those small daily interactions really shape your mood.
Totally. A simple good morning or how was your weekend can make a big difference.
Yes, and in English, small talk is part of work culture. Talking about the weather, your morning, or your coffee, it breaks the ice.
Exactly. It keeps the atmosphere friendly.
By late morning, I'm usually in full work mode.
Same here. That's when my focus is strongest. I usually schedule important meetings or creative tasks before lunch because my brain is fresher.
That's a smart move. I tend to do writing or project planning in the morning too. After lunch, my energy drops a little.
Yeah, same here. I think it happens to everyone.
Yeah. So, what do you usually do for lunch?
It depends. Sometimes I bring food from home, sometimes I go out with coworkers. Today, I had a salad and some soup at a cafe nearby.
Nice. I brought lunch today: rice, vegetables, and tofu. I'm trying to eat healthier lately.
Good for you. Food really affects how we feel in the afternoon.
Definitely. I used to eat heavy lunches and then feel sleepy all afternoon.
Oh, I've been there. It's the classic food coma.
Exactly. That's why I like lighter meals, and I also take a short walk after lunch if I can.
That's a great idea. I usually grab a coffee instead of walking.
Both work in their own way.
After lunch, I usually focus on smaller tasks: emails, reports, planning the next day.
Yeah, I do similar things. My energy dips a little, so I use that time for admin work or calls.
Right. And sometimes I like to take a 5-minute break just to stretch or step outside.
That's healthy. It keeps your brain fresh. I sometimes listen to a short song between tasks to reset.
Music really helps. Do you ever get that mid afternoon feeling where time slows down?
Oh, yes. Around 3 p.m., it feels like the clock stops moving.
Exactly. That's when I usually grab another cup of coffee, my afternoon boost.
You and your coffee.
I can't help it. It's my fuel.
Fair enough. Everyone has their thing. For me, I try to drink green tea instead.
That's healthier, for sure. So, what time do you usually finish work?
Around 6 p.m., sometimes later if I'm deep into something. What about you?
Usually around 5:30. I try not to stay too late unless it's urgent. I like to have some time to unwind afterward.
That's smart. I used to bring work home, but it made me tired all the time.
Same. I've learned that rest is part of productivity.
Exactly. And when I finally shut my laptop, that's when I feel the day shifting from work mode to life mode.
Yes, that's such an important moment when you mentally leave work behind.
So, what do your evenings usually look like?
Well, after work, I go for a walk or hit the gym. Exercise helps me clear my head.
That's a great routine. I usually do yoga at home or cook dinner while listening to music.
That sounds nice. Cooking is like therapy for some people.
Exactly. I love chopping vegetables, playing relaxing music, and just enjoying the process.
What did you cook tonight?
Pasta with vegetables and a little bit of cheese. Comfort food.
That sounds good. I had grilled chicken and salad. Simple but tasty.
Healthy. Do you watch TV after dinner?
Sometimes. I prefer YouTube or a documentary. I don't like sitting for too long, though.
Yeah, me too. I usually read a book or call my family.
That's nice. I try to avoid screens at least 30 minutes before bed.
Good idea. I should do that too.
Do you ever reflect on your day before bed?
Yes, actually. I like to think about what went well and what I could improve.
Same. I sometimes write it down. Just short thoughts like, what made me smile today?
That's beautiful. It keeps you grateful and aware.
Exactly. Even small wins count. Finishing a task, helping someone, or just having a peaceful moment.
True. And I think that's what makes daily life meaningful. Those little moments we often forget.
Absolutely. Talking about your day helps you notice your day.
How's your routine different on weekends?
Oh, totally different. I sleep in, take things slow, and do things I enjoy, like going to the park, meeting friends, or baking.
That sounds relaxing. For me, weekends are my reset button. I clean my apartment, do laundry, and then reward myself with something fun, like a movie or dinner out.
That balance is important. We all need days that aren't just about productivity.
Exactly. Rest is part of the rhythm.
So, if someone asked, how was your day? What would your answer be today?
I'd say it was balanced, productive, calm, and meaningful. What about you?
I'd say it was peaceful. I felt present and connected. Not rushed, just steady.
That's the best kind of day.
Yes, and I hope everyone listening takes a moment tonight to talk about their day, even just with themselves.
Absolutely. Describe it, express it, and be proud of it. Every day is a little story.
I love that. Thank you all for listening to Reen English Channel.
If you enjoyed this episode, share it with a friend and try describing your own day out loud in English tonight.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Reen English Channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Today, we're going on a little adventure, not just through conversation, but around the world. Because our topic today is English for travel. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yes, one of my favorite topics ever. I think most people dream about traveling, exploring new places, meeting people, trying new food, and English is often the bridge that makes it all possible.
Exactly. Whether you're at the airport, in a hotel, in a restaurant, or even lost in a foreign city, English is usually the language people use to communicate. So today, we're going to walk through all those situations and talk about how to handle them in English, naturally.
That's right. We'll share stories, mistakes we've made, and practical things travelers can say or understand. So grab your headphones and imagine we're packing our bags together.
Okay, let's start at the beginning, before the trip even starts.
Jack, when you plan a trip, what's the first thing you do?
I usually start with the destination. I ask myself, where do I really want to go? Then I check flight prices and look for hotels or Airbnb options.
Right. And that's where a lot of English learning happens without people realizing it. Reading booking websites, understanding reviews, or communicating with hosts.
Absolutely. For example, when booking accommodation, you might need to understand phrases like free cancellation, check in after 3 p.m., or breakfast included.
Yes. And when you message the host, you might write things like, "Hi, I'd like to confirm my reservation," or "Can I check in early?"
Exactly. And if something goes wrong, like the room isn't ready, you might say, "Excuse me, I think there's been a mistake with my booking."
That's such a common one. But here's something I think people forget. Travel English isn't just about memorizing phrases. It's about understanding the intent behind them.
Good point. Like, you're not just saying words, you're solving a situation.
Exactly. So if your flight gets delayed or you need to find your gate, you don't panic, you communicate.
Let's move on. The big one, airports.
Ah, yes, that's where many travelers feel nervous, especially with English announcements and forms.
Definitely. I remember my first time flying alone internationally. I was at Heathrow Airport and I heard final boarding call for flight BA234 to Rome. I panicked because I didn't even know what boarding call meant at the time.
Oh no, what happened?
I ran across the terminal. Turns out I still had 20 minutes left. I learned that final boarding call doesn't mean the door is closing right that second.
That's such a good example. Those airport phrases can be confusing. Boarding gate, security check, carry on luggage, departure gate.
Yes, and you hear so many different accents at airports too. It's great listening practice.
Totally. And one of the most common interactions is at the check-in counter. Like you walk up and say, "Hello, I'd like to check in for my flight."
And the airline staff might ask, "Can I see your passport, please?" Or, "Do you have any bags to check?"
Exactly. And you might reply, "Yes, I have one suitcase." Or, "No, just to carry on."
And of course, immigration, they'll ask, "What's the purpose of your visit?"
Yes, that question makes so many people nervous. But the answer is usually simple. I'm here on vacation or I'm here for business.
Right. No need to overthink it. Just answer naturally.
All right, we've checked in, gone through security, and now we're on the plane.
The plane is another great English learning environment. You hear so many announcements. Please fasten your seatbelt. The captain has turned on the seatbelt sign, or will be landing shortly.
Yes, and you interact with the cabin crew. Like if you want water, you can say, "Excuse me, may I have some water, please?"
Or if you have a dietary request, "Do you have a vegetarian meal?"
I think travelers often feel shy to speak up on planes, but flight attendants are trained to help, so it's good practice to use polite English.
Absolutely. And when you're arriving, they often say, "Welcome to New York," or "Local time is 8:15 a.m." That's real life listening practice.
Exactly. You're learning through experience.
Okay, now we've landed. Let's check into our hotel.
This is one of my favorite parts, hotel English.
Same here, because you learn to sound polite, professional, and confident.
When you arrive, you might say, "Hi, I have a reservation under the name Emma Brown."
And the receptionist might reply, "Welcome, Ms. Brown. May I see your ID and credit card?"
Exactly. And if you want to ask for something like an extra towel, you could call the front desk and say, "Hello, could you please send another towel to my room?"
That's a great one. Or if something doesn't work, like the air conditioning, "Hi, the air conditioning isn't working. Could you please check it?"
Perfect. And at checkout, they'll usually ask, "Did you enjoy your stay?" or "Would you like a copy of your receipt?"
It's amazing how these little conversations teach you tone and politeness.
Now we're out exploring.
Yes, one of the best ways to learn travel English is, well, getting around, taking taxis, buses, or asking for directions.
I love that part. It's so real. Like, imagine you're in a new city and you need to find a museum. You might ask someone, "Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to the National Museum?"
Yes, and they might answer, "Sure, go straight and take the second right."
Exactly. Or if you're in a taxi, you might say, "Can you take me to the central station, please?"
Right. And if you're using ride apps like Uber, you'll hear things like, "Your driver is arriving in 3 minutes," or "Your trip has started."
That's all English input, natural, practical, and useful. And even simple signs while traveling, exit, arrival hall, customs, currency exchange, they teach you real world vocabulary without even studying.
All right, my favorite part, food.
I knew you'd say that.
When you go to restaurants abroad, English becomes the universal menu. You'll often see things like appetizers, main course, or desserts.
Right. And when ordering, you can say, "Could I see the menu, please?" Or "I'd like the grilled chicken."
Right. And don't forget, polite phrases make everything smoother. "Thank you. That was delicious." Or "Could I get the bill, please?"
Exactly. And sometimes you'll need to ask about ingredients. Does this contain nuts or is it spicy?
I always do that. And it's also a great chance to chat with locals, waiters, chefs, or other travelers.
Yes, food brings people together, and English is often the connection. Speaking of connections, one of the best parts of travel is meeting people.
Yes, and this is where your English really grows in real conversations.
Exactly. You can start simple. "Hi, where are you from?" Or "Is this your first time here?"
Yes, and it often leads to deeper chats, sharing travel tips, experiences, or even making friends.
And it's amazing how open people are traveling. You don't have to be perfect, just friendly and curious.
Right. The goal is to communicate, not to impress.
Yes, and every conversation you have abroad is a free English lesson.
Now, not every trip is perfect. Let's talk about problems.
Yes, because when things go wrong, that's when you really need English.
Like missing a flight, losing your luggage, or getting lost.
Exactly. Imagine your suitcase doesn't arrive. You might go to the counter and say, "Excuse me, my luggage hasn't arrived."
Yes, and they'll usually ask, "Can you describe your bag?" Or "Can I see your baggage tag?"
Right. And if you get lost, you can ask anyone, "Excuse me, could you help me find this address?"
And if you don't understand, you can say,
Could you please repeat that more slowly?
That's such an important one because people usually want to help. You just have to ask.
Exactly. And that's why learning English for travel is about confidence, not perfection.
At the end of the day, travel is about the experience, not just the language.
Yes, but knowing English gives you access to more of that experience. You can read signs, join tours, understand history, and connect with people.
Absolutely. It's like unlocking the world.
And the best part is, your English improves without you even noticing. You're learning through life.
Exactly. And I think that's the miracle of travel. You leave home to explore the world, but you come back having learned so much about yourself.
That's beautiful, Emma.
So, to everyone listening, don't wait until your English is perfect to travel. Use travel to make your English better.
Yes, speak, make mistakes, laugh, and learn. Every trip is a classroom.
Exactly. English isn't just something you study, it's something you live.
Beautifully said. I think that's the perfect note to end on.
Thank you all for joining us today on Reen English Channel. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with your travel-loving friends.
And remember, the world is your classroom. Speak bravely, travel often, and live fully.
See you next time.
Take care, everyone.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Reen English Channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Thanks for tuning in. Today's topic is one that almost everyone struggles with, comparing yourself to others. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yeah, it's so common, right? Especially in today's world where social media makes it look like everyone else is living a perfect life.
Exactly. And I think learning how to stop comparing yourself to others is not only important for your happiness, but also for your growth.
Totally agree. So, in today's episode, we'll have an open conversation, stories, reflections, and practical advice, all in natural English.
Sounds great. So let's start with a simple question. Why do people compare themselves to others?
That's a big one. I think it starts early. Even as kids, we're told things like, look at your brother, he got better grades.
Yeah, or she's faster than you, he's taller than you, or your friend is already in university. It's like we're trained to measure our worth by comparison.
Exactly. It becomes a habit. And when we grow up, that habit follows us into adulthood, at work, in relationships, even in personal achievements.
Right. I remember when I started my first job, I compared my progress with others. Some people were promoted faster, and I felt like I was behind.
Oh, I can relate. When I was teaching English in another country, I used to look at other teachers on social media. They had more students, more followers, better reviews. I felt so small.
But here's the funny thing. Those people might have been comparing themselves to you.
True. It's a cycle that never ends.
Yeah, and that's the key realization. Comparison doesn't stop unless you stop it consciously.
Exactly. Because there will always be someone who seems richer, smarter, or more successful.
So, Emma, let's talk about what happens when we constantly compare ourselves to others.
I'd say the biggest cost is happiness. When you're always comparing, you stop enjoying your own life.
Yeah, it's like your joy becomes conditional. I'll be happy when I'm as good as them.
Exactly, and that's so dangerous because happiness isn't something to chase. It's something to feel now.
Absolutely. Also, comparison often leads to insecurity. You start doubting your abilities, even if you're actually doing great.
That's true. You might be doing something meaningful, but if you see someone else doing it differently or with more recognition, suddenly yours feels less valuable.
Yeah, I once met a young entrepreneur who was making steady progress, but he was frustrated because he wasn't a millionaire at 25 like some influencers.
That's the problem with highlight reels. We see the end results, but not the years of struggle behind them.
Exactly. We compare our behind the scenes with someone else's best moments.
You know what helped me stop comparing myself to others? Realizing that everyone's journey is different.
Totally. No two lives are the same. Different backgrounds, opportunities, experiences, even luck.
Right. I once read something beautiful. The flower doesn't compare itself to the tree, it just blooms.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, it's a simple reminder that you can only do your best in your own way.
And when you focus on your own growth, you start feeling lighter. It's like you stop running a race against others and start walking your own path.
Exactly. And that's when progress becomes natural. You don't force it, you grow from within.
You know, I often tell my students, focus on progress, not perfection.
That's a great point. For example, if you're learning English, don't compare your accent or vocabulary to someone else's. Just speak, keep improving, and be proud of your journey.
Yes, the moment you stop comparing, learning becomes fun again.
Okay, Jack, let's be honest. Social media makes this a lot worse.
Oh, yeah. Scrolling through Instagram can make anyone feel like their life is boring.
Right? Everyone's traveling, eating fancy food, smiling all the time, but no one posts their bad days.
Exactly. And sometimes people fake it just to look successful.
Which means we're comparing ourselves to something that's not even real.
That's the sad part. We start chasing illusions.
I actually took a break from social media once, just for 2 weeks, and I felt so free.
Really?
Yeah, I realized how much I was unconsciously comparing myself. Without that, I felt calmer, more focused.
That's powerful. Sometimes detoxing digitally can reset your mind.
Absolutely. I think everyone should do that occasionally. Not to escape the world, but to reconnect with themselves.
So, Emma, if comparison is so harmful, what's the alternative?
I'd say gratitude, 100%. When you focus on what you have, you stop obsessing over what you lack.
Totally agree. Gratitude turns your attention inward to your blessings, achievements, even small wins.
Exactly. I keep a gratitude journal. Every night, I write down 3 things I'm thankful for. It sounds simple, but it really shifts your mindset.
That's great advice. I do something similar. Every morning, I say to myself, what's one thing I can be proud of today?
Oh, I love that. And it doesn't have to be something huge. Even, I cooked a good meal, or I smiled more today counts.
Yes, the point is to appreciate your journey.
When you're grateful, comparison loses its power.
True.
Gratitude is like armor against insecurity.
Well said. And the more self-aware you become, the easier it is to stop caring about others' opinions.
Another key factor here is self-confidence. The more confident you are, the less you compare.
Exactly. Because comparison often comes from self-doubt.
Right. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you don't need validation from others.
Confidence doesn't mean thinking you're better than others. It's knowing you're enough.
I love that. Say it again.
Confidence is not thinking you're better than others. It's knowing you're enough.
That's gold. Everyone should write that down.
Totally. And confidence comes from action, doing things that prove to yourself you can grow.
Yes. For example, improving your English, learning a new skill, setting personal goals.
The more you act, the more you build self-respect. And the more self-respect you have, the less you compare.
You know, I once met a guy who said comparison was ruining his career. He was a great photographer, but always compared his work to professionals online.
Oh, yeah, that's common. What happened?
He almost quit. But then he realized those people had been doing it for 10 years. So he focused on improving just 1% every week. A year later, he had his own exhibition.
That's inspiring. I had a student who was afraid to speak English because she compared herself to native speakers.
Oh, I know that feeling.
But after 6 months of focusing on practice, not perfection, she gave a presentation and everyone loved it.
That's amazing. Those stories show the power of shifting focus inward.
So, to wrap up, if you take one thing from today's talk, let it be this: you are your only competition.
Exactly. Compare yourself not to others, but to who you were yesterday.
That's the healthiest mindset.
And remember, no one's journey is perfect. Everyone has struggles behind the scenes.
Focus on your growth, practice gratitude, and believe in your own timing.
Well said. I think that's the perfect note to end on.
Well, thanks for joining us, everyone.
Keep learning, keep improving, and most importantly, stop comparing yourself to others.
Emma and Jack together. See you next time. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Reen English Channel, the podcast where we dive into fun, real-life conversations that help you think, imagine, and speak in English naturally. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Today's topic is a little bit different. It's adventurous, a bit wild, and definitely exciting. We're talking about how to survive in the forest. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yes. Imagine you're out in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by trees, animals, and nature. And suddenly, you realize you're lost. What do you do? How do you survive?
Exactly. It's not just about adventure. It's about mindset, calm thinking, and knowing what to do when things don't go as planned.
Right. And today, we're going to imagine that you and I, me and Jack, are actually lost in a forest. We'll talk through everything: how we'd react, what steps we'd take, what mistakes we might make, and how we'd keep calm.
So basically, it's a survival story, but also a great way to learn natural English through real conversation.
Let's dive in. Picture this. We've gone on a weekend camping trip somewhere in the national park, and things go wrong.
Okay, so it's around 4 p.m. We were hiking for hours, taking photos, following a trail, and now we realize, wait a minute, where's the campsite?
Oh no, the sun's starting to go down, and I'm like, Jack, did we pass that big rock before?
And I'd be like, I don't know, Emma. All the trees look the same.
Exactly. That moment when panic hits. You look around, and everything the trees, the ground, the path looks identical.
Yeah, and your first instinct is to keep walking fast, to try to find the way back, but that's the worst idea.
Right, because if you move too quickly without a plan, you just get more lost.
So, what's the first step?
I'd say stop. Take a deep breath.
Exactly. The first rule of survival, don't panic.
Right. When you panic, your brain shuts down and you make emotional decisions instead of logical ones.
So, we'd stop walking, take off our backpacks, maybe sit down for a second and say, okay, let's think.
Yeah. Let's check what time it is, how much daylight we have left, and what supplies we have.
Good. Let's say it's 4:30 p.m. We have about 2.5 hours before it gets dark.
All right. I'd look in my backpack, water bottle, half full, one energy bar, a small flashlight, my phone with 30% battery, and a sweater.
Okay, not bad. I'd probably have my pocket knife, a lighter, some trail mix, and a map that, of course, I didn't really read properly earlier.
Classic, Jack.
Hey, it's realistic.
So we're not completely helpless. We have some supplies. The next step, we need to decide whether to stay in one place or move.
Good question. Most survival experts say if you're truly lost and no one knows your location, you should stay near where you last were on the trail.
Right. That way, rescuers have a better chance of finding you.
Exactly. So maybe we should set up a temporary camp. Find a safe spot before it gets dark.
Good idea. So, what makes a spot safe in the forest?
Somewhere flat, dry, and not too close to rivers or cliffs. You don't want to wake up in water if it rains at night.
Yes. And also avoid animal trails. If you see lots of footprints or droppings, don't camp there.
Definitely. So we'd look around, find a flat area with some dry leaves, maybe under a big tree for some cover.
Okay. Then we'd gather materials, dry sticks, leaves, maybe some rocks to make a small fire circle.
Yeah, and luckily I brought a lighter, so we're not trying to rub sticks together like cavemen.
Thank goodness. That could take hours. All right, so now it's maybe 5:30 p.m. The sky is turning orange. We have to make shelter.
Right. The goal is to stay dry and warm overnight.
We could use fallen branches to make a little frame, like a triangle against a tree, and then layer leaves and sticks on top for insulation.
Exactly. It doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to keep the wind and rain out.
I'd also gather some soft leaves or pine needles for the ground so we're not sleeping directly on the dirt.
Good thinking. The ground steals body heat, so insulation is key.
Okay, now we make a small fire.
Yes. First, we clear a circle of dirt, no dry grass nearby. Then we put small twigs in the center, light them,
and slowly add bigger sticks.
Fire gives warmth, light, and a sense of safety. It's also a huge morale booster.
True. Sitting by a small fire in the forest feels like you've regained control.
Yeah, it's like, okay, I can do this. I'm not just lost, I'm surviving.
Exactly. So we're sitting there, eating our energy bars, watching the stars appear through the trees.
That actually sounds kind of beautiful.
It does, until we hear something moving in the bushes.
Oh no, don't start with that.
Come on, it's realistic. Forests are full of sounds, branches snapping, animals moving.
True, but that's when you have to remember most animals are more scared of you than you are of them.
Exactly. And fire helps keep them away anyway.
So it's night now. The forest is completely dark, except for our little fire. The air is cool and the stars are bright.
You can hear crickets, maybe a distant owl. It's peaceful, but also a bit lonely.
Yeah. And that's when your mind starts thinking, like, what if no one finds us tomorrow?
That's the hardest part, staying mentally strong.
Exactly. Survival isn't just physical, it's emotional and psychological.
Right. Fear can make you give up faster than hunger or cold.
So we talk, tell stories, stay awake for a bit, take turns keeping the fire alive.
Yeah. Keep the mind busy, stay calm, maybe plan for the next morning.
Like when daylight comes, we'll mark our location, look for a water source, and try to signal for help.
Exactly. Always have a plan for the next step.
Okay, morning comes. We've made it through the night. It's cold, but the sun is coming up.
The first thing we should do, drink a bit of water, but not all of it. Ration what we have.
Right, because dehydration kills faster than hunger.
Exactly. Then we look for a water source. Maybe follow the sound of running water.
If we find a stream, we can filter water through a piece of cloth or boil it if we have fire.
Exactly. Never drink water straight from the source. It can have bacteria.
And food, that's less important in the first 24 hours. You can survive days without food, but not without water or warmth.
Right. Focus on staying dry, hydrated, and visible.
Visible, that's key. We should make a big signal. Maybe use rocks or sticks to spell out help on the ground.
Or hang something bright from a tree, like my red scarf.
Perfect. Movement and color catch attention. Now, suppose we decide to explore, maybe to find a trail. How do we do it safely?
Rule number 1. Never wander too far from your base. Always mark your path.
Yes, like leaving small piles of rocks or tying ribbons on branches so we can find our way back.
Exactly. And listen, nature gives clues. Birds, flowing water, even distant road noise can guide you.
That's so true. Silence usually means you're deep in nature, but a consistent hum might mean civilization nearby.
Right. And use the sun to navigate. It rises in the east, sets in the west.
Basic, but powerful. Now, let's talk about challenges. What if it rains?
Then the first priority is staying dry. Use your jacket or plastic bags to cover yourself. Keep firewood under something so it stays dry.
Yes, and if we get wet, we have to dry off as soon as possible. Wet clothes mean cold, and cold means danger.
Yes, Hypothermia can happen even in mild weather.
What about animals?
Most animals avoid humans, but we should store food properly, hang it from a tree branch, not near our sleeping area.
Good tip. And bugs, mosquitoes, ants, etc., are just part of the experience.
Nature's roommates.
Exactly. You learn to tolerate them. Okay, let's say no one's found us yet. It's our second night. How do we stay positive?
We remind ourselves that we survived one night already. We can survive another.
Yes, we focus on small victories. We found water, we have fire, we're safe.
That's the key. Gratitude and patience.
Exactly. Survival isn't about perfection, it's about progress.
Finally, on the third morning, we hear something. Maybe a helicopter or voices calling out.
Our signal worked. We wave, shout, make smoke, and finally we're rescued.
That moment, relief, exhaustion, gratitude.
Yes. And when you look back, you realize you didn't just survive physically, but mentally.
And you learn a lot about yourself, your patience, creativity, and inner strength.
Exactly. Sometimes nature reminds us how capable we really are.
And that's why conversations like this matter. They teach us not just English, but resilience.
Beautifully said. So, listeners, if you ever find yourself in a tough situation, whether it's a real forest or just a mental one, remember, stay calm, think clearly, and believe you can survive it.
Because survival begins in the mind.
Exactly.
Thank you all for joining us on this adventure through the forest.
We hope you enjoyed this little story and learned some English and maybe even some survival wisdom along the way.
Don't forget to share this episode and tell us what would you do if you were lost in the forest.
Until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and keep practicing your English, no matter where you are.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Reen English Channel. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Today we've got something a bit different, something wild. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe our channel for more videos.
Yes, something that will test your imagination and maybe even your survival instincts. Today's topic is how to survive on the island.
That's right. Imagine this. You wake up one morning on a deserted tropical island. No phone, no internet, no city noise, just the sound of waves, birds, and maybe a few scary unknown animals.
Oh no, that already sounds like both a dream and a nightmare.
Exactly. And in this episode, we'll walk you through what to do step by step if you ever find yourself stranded on an island. We'll also talk about what it teaches you about life, patience, and resourcefulness.
So sit back, relax, or maybe grab a coconut if you have one, and let's start our survival journey.
Okay, Emma, let's start with the scenario. You're on a small island somewhere in the Pacific. You were on a small boat trip and suddenly a storm hit. The boat sank. You wake up alone on the shore. What's the first thing you do?
First thing, I think I'd panic. I'd look around and just think, where am I?
That's a natural reaction, but after the panic?
I'd probably check if I'm hurt, see if I have any injuries, Then maybe look around to see if there's any sign of other people or my stuff, like bags or bottles floating around.
Exactly. That's step one in survival. Assess your situation. Are you safe? Are you injured? Do you have anything useful?
Yes, because sometimes we forget to think clearly when we're scared, but taking a minute to breathe can make a big difference.
Absolutely. So after checking yourself, the next step is to find fresh water.
Ah, yes, water. Because without water, you can only survive a few days.
Correct. And on an island, salt water is everywhere, but it's useless for drinking. So you'd have to look for natural signs like streams, rainwater, or even dew on leaves in the early morning.
I once read that you can collect rainwater using leaves or coconuts.
Yes, you can even make a simple rain trap. So water is your top priority, not food, not shelter, but water.
Makes sense. Food can wait a little, but dehydration can be deadly.
Exactly. And while you're looking for water, you're also exploring the island, getting to know your surroundings.
So, kind of like an adventure, but a scary one?
Yeah, an adventure you didn't sign up for.
All right, so we have water. What's next?
Next is shelter. You need a place to rest, protect yourself from the sun, rain, or even wild animals.
Wouldn't it be best to build something near the beach? That way you can see if a ship passes by?
Good point. Many survival experts recommend staying near the coast for visibility. But here's the tricky part. The beach is hot during the day and can be cold at night.
So maybe build your shelter near the trees, but still close enough to see the ocean?
Perfect balance. Shade from trees, access to the breeze, and a view of the horizon.
Okay, so what do we use for shelter?
Palm leaves, branches, vines, anything natural. If you have clothes, ropes, or even a part of your boat, that's bonus material.
And maybe dig a small fire pit nearby, right? For cooking or warmth?
Exactly. But you have to be careful with fire. If you start one, make sure it's safe and actually, smoke can help attract rescuers.
Oh, so it's also a signal.
Yes. In fact, a smoky fire is one of the best rescue signals you can make.
Okay, so we have water, shelter, and maybe a fire. I think I'd still be terrified at night, though.
I can imagine the jungle sounds, insects, wind. It's like a horror movie soundtrack.
Totally. I'd probably talk to myself just to stay calm.
And that's actually smart. Keeping your mind active keeps panic away.
So now we're hungry. What do we eat?
All right, first rule, don't eat anything you can't identify.
Good advice.
You'd start with obvious, safe sources. Coconuts, fruits, maybe fish if you're near water.
But how would you catch fish without tools?
You can make a simple spear from a stick. Or if you're lucky, you can trap fish in shallow water using rocks.
Okay, that sounds creative. But what if there are no coconuts?
Then insects might be your best protein source.
Ew, really?
I know, it sounds disgusting, but insects are edible and full of protein. In a survival situation, you do what you must.
I guess survival changes your perspective.
Definitely. The goal is to keep energy, not enjoy gourmet meals.
So, lesson learned, if I'm ever on an island, I'll try to love coconuts and maybe crickets.
Exactly.
Let's talk about mindset. Because surviving physically is one thing, but mentally, it's another challenge.
Oh, yes. Mental survival is half the battle.
What do you think helps people stay strong in those situations?
Hope, purpose, believing that help will come. You have to keep your mind busy, plan, explore, build something, even talk to yourself.
Like, okay, Emma, today we're going to make a fishing trap. Let's do this.
Exactly. Self-talk is surprisingly powerful. It helps maintain focus.
And maybe creating routines like wake up, collect water, check for rescue, eat, rest, repeat,
Yes, structure keeps chaos away.
and gratitude. Even in such a bad situation, being thankful for little things like finding water or seeing the sunrise helps you survive emotionally.
That's such a great point. Gratitude gives strength.
And it's interesting, isn't it? We realize how much we actually need to live.
Right. When you're on an island, you don't care about social media, shopping, or stress. You just care about the basics: water, food, safety, peace.
It's a humbling experience.
Exactly. Sometimes surviving teaches you how to live better.
All right, let's say it's been a few days. You've got your routine, your shelter, your little coconut system. Now what?
Now you plan for rescue or escape.
Escape? Like building a raft?
Nets. Yes, though it's risky, you could use logs, ropes, vines, but only if you're sure of the direction and the sea conditions.
So maybe it's safer to stay put and signal for help?
Right. You can create large SOS signs with rocks on the beach or use fire and smoke as signals.
That's smart. And if a plane passes by, waving a bright cloth might help too.
Exactly. The goal is visibility. Make it clear that someone's there.
And patience, again. You have to wait, stay strong, and keep hope alive.
Yes, survival is not just about strength, it's about patience and intelligence.
It's funny how much it reflects real life. Sometimes you can't rush things. You just do your best and wait for the right moment.
Exactly, the island becomes a teacher.
Okay, let's go deep for a moment. What do you think surviving on an island teaches us about life?
I think it teaches us that we have more strength inside than we realize. When everything is stripped away, no technology, no comfort, you discover who you really are.
Yes, that's so true. And also, you learn what's essential.
Right. Food, water, safety, peace. That's it.
I think it also reminds us of gratitude. Like every time I drink clean water now, I'll think about how much we're lucky.
Exactly. Modern life makes us forget how much we already have.
And maybe it teaches teamwork too. If you're with someone else, survival becomes easier, like you and I on the island.
Yeah, as long as we don't argue over the last coconut.
I'll let you have it, but you'd owe me a pizza when we get rescued.
Deal.
But seriously, teamwork, creativity, and positivity, those three things can save your life.
Absolutely. And even if you never get stranded, the same lessons apply to everyday life.
Yes, adapt, stay calm, think clearly, and never lose hope.
That's the heart of survival, on an island or anywhere.
Beautifully said, Jack.
Thanks, Emma.
All right, everyone. That's all for today's episode of Reen English Channel. We hope you enjoyed this journey and learned not only some survival tips, but also some life lessons along the way.
Remember, stay strong, stay smart, and never underestimate your ability to adapt.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.